What up? What up? What up? Ladies and gents, boys and girls, you are now tuned in to a brand new video, Sports Way with Dre Day podcast. I'm your host with the most, the Hood's ESPN, Crystal Street's very own, Dre Day. What's up? What's up? What's up? Once again, thank y'all for y'all continued support of the podcast. Keep it going, keep it growing, keep it flowing. If you haven't already, subscribe to the YouTube channel. Right there on the bottom of the screen, Sports Way with Dre Day podcast is the name. Hit that subscribe button. Also hit that notification bell. So that way, once a video is uploaded, you will get a notification letting you know that I dropped a new video. Like the video, share the video, leave a comment, tell a friend and tell a friend, all that good stuff. This video here, I'm going to put two topics into one. So I'm going to try to do this a little less than a half hour, a little over a half hour. I was just too clamored up with both all three games. I was gonna do separate videos. I was gonna do a NFC, AFC recap, and then do a separate video talking about South Carolina and them bouncing back from their loss on Thursday. But I was just so fixated with those games, lost track of time. And then when I did see what the time was, I'm like, man, I'm not doing two videos. I'm gonna just put everything into one. So that's what the agenda is on here. And with that being said, being that I am gonna do that, if you have Apple Podcasts or if you have iTunes of that nature, sometime tomorrow, or Spotify, sometime tomorrow, you can listen to the audio version on those platforms. But for the YouTube watchers, you'll be getting this sometime late tonight or something like that, like after I, edit and formatted and stuff like that. But yes, the Seattle Seahawks and the New England Patriots had punched their tickets to Santa Clara. Both teams are Super Bowl bound. First off, congratulations to both of them. I'm going to speak on the Seahawks and Rams game first, being that was the one that was the highlight of the weekend. I think we all pretty much figured that was probably going to be the highlight of the weekend. But I do want to get on this platform and I do want to give credit where it's due. And that would be to Seahawks quarterback, Sam Darnold. Okay. I have to give him a round of applause. And the reason why I have to give him a round of applause is because he proved me wrong. I never was a fan of Sam Darnold. And maybe that was because he got drafted by the Jets. And obviously, anybody that goes to the Jets, you know how your career winds up when you're with them. You'll be a lot better when you're not with them. Leaves the Jets. I believe he has a stint with Carolina. Things didn't pan out well there. He goes to Minnesota, has a good season last year. I believe the Vikings had 14 wins. They had about 14 wins in the regular season. And then come playoff time, bam, they get eliminated, right? So I'm like, I can't take this dude serious, man. Like, I just can't. So he comes to Seattle, and even then, I still didn't take him seriously. But he's earned my respect now. I stand down. He gets my utmost respect just off this performance alone. When you talk about carving up a defense, That's what Sam Darnold did to that Los Angeles Rams defense. He carved them up something real nice. JSN, the probably the best receiver in the NFL, lit them up like a Christmas tree as well. Like, this is the NFC Championship game, and the Rams allowed this dude to have close to 170 yards in receiving. It's nasty work. So I don't know who the coordinator for the Rams is, but they might have to have a conversation after this game. Now, the Rams did have their opportunities. I'm not going to sit here and act like they didn't have their opportunities. Matthew Stafford played well. Obviously, he's going to be the MVP of this year. That will be his first MVP. So now that he's going to have that under his belt, he already has a Super Bowl under his belt. So all that's left is for when he retires a few years later on down the line, he'll be in the Hall of Fame. But again, the Rams, they had their chances. They had their chances. I think the one play that's going to haunt them was that pass that Matthew Stafford threw to their tight end. I'm trying to remember his name. I'm trying to remember the tight end's name. Work with me here. Work with me. Parkinson. That's his name. They're going because I think it was a third down, if I'm not mistaken. The ball was literally in his hands, and who knows? Maybe the linebacker probably got a whiff of it. He probably skinned the football. But me personally, when you got that ball in your hand, you got to catch that. It was literally in your hands. If you catch that, you're taking that to the house. You're taking that to the house, and you're probably up 34-31 going into the latter end of the fourth quarter, right? But me personally, I think the Rams had their opportunities. I'm not going to sit here and say they choked, but they could have made things a little interesting because even in that possession, if I'm not mistaken, the next play after that drop pass, Matthew Stafford ran for a first down, something that he don't never do. But in this case, he's desperate. He got to do it, right? So he gets the first down. They get all the way down to the red zone, and I think on fourth down, I think it was a 4th and 3 or a 4th and 4. Just take the 3 points. Now, I get it. You want to get aggressive, and sometimes I don't know what it is with these coaches, and they want to be the smartest person in the room. Sean Payton is another one. I'm going to get to him soon. You want to be the smartest person in the room when you can just grab the points, probably be down by 1, and let your defense go out there and handle your business. But you go for it on fourth down. Matthew Stafford tries to throw it in the back of the end zone. I don't know what he was looking at, but the defender was literally in front of the receiver. So I don't know what he was looking at. And it's a turnover on downs, and then Seattle winds up getting the ball back. Now, obviously, they didn't get anything out of it, but they definitely got it down enough to where the Rams had to start using their timeouts, which led to the last possession of the game, the last drive of the game, where the Rams couldn't get anything. But again, for the Seahawks to be in this position again, for them to have not been to the Super Bowl since 2014, and that was against, it just so happens, it was against the team that they will be meeting in the Super Bowl. We all remember the Legion of Boom. We remember Russell Wilson with the Seahawks, Pete Carroll with the Seahawks. And for them to be able to withstand, because let's be real, when you thought of the NFC West, at least for me, I thought the best two teams was the Niners and the Rams. I didn't trust the Seahawks because of who their quarterback was. Now, obviously, that's out the window because Sam Darnold has earned my respect tremendously. Now, if he wants to keep that respect, you go to Santa Clara and put on a doozy against the Patriots. But yeah, he definitely earned my respect in this game. He very much earned my respect. He answered the bell. I know he was hearing a lot of the naysayers, including myself, say that, he's not ready for the big time. He's not built for it. But this game, it was. He was. He definitely was, and I'm very happy for him. I'm very much happy for him. But yeah, like I said, the Rams, they had their chances. They definitely had their chances. I mean, the turnover that they had in the third quarter off the punt return. I mean, the guy that was, I think Smith was his last name. He tripped, fell on the floor, and tried to catch the ball on the ground. Now, obviously, once you do that, you better make sure you catch it, because if you don't catch that ball, it's a live ball after that. And obviously, that didn't happen. The Seahawks recovered it. And then on that next play, that next play from the Seahawks, because now they're in the red zone, that next play, Sam Darnold threw a touchdown. So again, the Rams, they had their opportunities. If they go back and watch the game tapes, there's going to be those two plays that I talked about. The Parkinson pass that he missed, and then that fumble. Those two plays is going to be the plays that's going to haunt the Rams throughout this offseason. I want to salute Devontae Adams, because he had himself, I'm not going to say he had a vintage Devon Adams game, but this was probably the best game I've seen him in quite some time. And obviously, he's had some stints after Green Bay. He had a stint with the Raiders that wasn't too well. And now he's with the Rams, but he just kept dealing with injuries. But he definitely made his mark in this game. He got a touchdown. Puka, what can I say about him? Like, if JSN is the best receiver in the NFL, Puka is definitely in the top 5. Definitely. That dude is a stud. But I definitely want to commend both teams, because after what we saw from the first game, and for this to be an amazing game, I want to salute the Seahawks and the Rams, because both teams left it all on the field. Neither one of these teams did not want to lose, and that's what happens when you have division rivals going up against each other. And again, these two teams, they know each other very well, because they played each other twice in the regular season. And it's crazy, because if you take both games prior to this one, the Seahawks had 1 point and 1 yard over the Rams in total. So that's how close these games have been with both these teams. And even this game, again, the Seahawks only won by 4 points. But amazing game. So definitely want to salute the Rams and the Seahawks, but obviously the Seahawks more, because now they're headed to Santa Clara to the Super Bowl. And who they will be playing? The New England Patriots. Yes, you heard me. The New England Patriots. Now, this is someone who, I'll say it. Listen, for those of y'all that don't know me, I was a Patriots fan when Tom Brady was there. But my loyalty was with Tom, because I'm a big Tom Brady fan. Was a Tom Brady fan when he was at Michigan. So the fandom with him started at Michigan. It wasn't when he was at New England. I didn't wait for New England to start winning championships and then said, "Oh, Patriots is my team." No. They was my team once he joined New England. Now, obviously, we know Drew Bledsoe gets hurt. He gets his opportunity. And then the old saying is, the rest is history. When he left and he went to Tampa, I went to Tampa with him. Like, again, my loyalty is to him, not to New England. My loyalty is to him. So when he leaves, I leave. Now, I'll say it. I'm gonna keep it all the way. I'm gonna keep it all the way 100. This is what I do here. When Brady left, I said the Patriots ain't never going to the Super Bowl again. Never. I said, listen, I said that whole dynasty that they've had, enjoy it. That's the last one you're gonna get. You're probably never going back to the Super Bowl. This is what I told myself. And all of that got put to bed today. Even listen, ugly game. And obviously the snow had a lot to do with it. Low scoring game. I think this was probably shit. I'm trying to think. I think the Jaguars and the Bills a few years ago had a low scoring game before. And it might have been this same score, 10-7. And that's what it took. The Patriots to score 10 points and the Broncos to only score 7 points. And that was in the first quarter, like early in the first quarter, right? I think it was like 10 or 11 straight drives that the Broncos couldn't score. Like the Patriots defense was that impressive. Now, again, like I said, maybe the snow might have had something to do with it. Because when the game first started, there was no snow. Like the sun was out, all that good shit. Then you get to the middle of the third quarter, like that snow started coming down like crazy. Like it got to the point where if you watch the game, you know how they have the yards on the field? You got the 10, 20, 30, 40. Like they had to enhance the numbers digitally for people to see on TV because the field was just covered up in snow. So yeah, like you can say that the snow played a role in Denver suffering. And then obviously the elephant in the room, Bo Nix didn't play. They had to rely on Jarrett Stidham, but I'm not gonna lie. That first score, that scoring drive that he did in the first quarter, when he threw that, touchdown to Sutton in the back of the end zone, on the side of the end zone, parting self. I'm like, yo, New England might be in trouble this game. They just might be in trouble. And then what happens? I think the next drive, if I'm not mistaken, or maybe the drive after that, it's the same thing I said about Sean McVay. And the crazy thing is, both of their names are Sean, and they're spelled the same way. They want to be the smartest person in the room. Sean Payton had an opportunity to possibly go up 10-zip. He probably had an opportunity to go up 10-zip. But no, he wants to go for it on fourth down. And what happened on that fourth down? Not only did you turn the ball over on downs, but you threw an interception as well. When you could have just been up 10-zip and kept the momentum. But yeah, like I said, that Patriots defense was astonishing. Like if they picked any time to show how special their defense was, it was this game. Now, of course, you're going to have people out there to say, oh, they won because Bo Nix didn't play. Oh, the snow this, the snow that. The Broncos had opportunities because the Broncos defense was amazing as well. The Broncos defense was very impressive too. So, damn if you do, damn if you don't. I'm definitely gonna be honest with you. Jarrett Stidham, he did okay. He threw an interception. I believe he lost the fumble as well. But again, I didn't expect much from him in this game anyway. First of all, I had the Patriots winning from the beginning. Okay? Because if y'all remember correctly, if you've been paying attention to the podcast, a few weeks ago, I believe it was, how many weeks is it in the NFL? I think it's 18 weeks. I think it was either the 16th week or the 17th week. And, they was on a collision course with Denver to get that number 1 seed. I sat right in this chair and looked y'all right in the camera and said, if I was the Patriots, I wouldn't go for the number 1 seed. I would go for the number 2 seed. And in case Y'all don't remember. Because see, sometimes you gotta, you gotta bask in your glory, right? Sometimes you gotta talk your shit when you said something that came to fruition. So I'm going to play the clip where I made this prediction. Okay. So hopefully y'all hear it. I don't think they should go for number one. I think they should go for number two. And the reason why they should go for number two is plain and simple. I just gave y'all the reason. New England is undefeated this season on the road. Yeah. So if they get the number two seed, let's say they was to meet the Denver Broncos in the AFC Championship game. Let's just say, for the sake of argument, that was to be the potential matchup. Right. New England goes on the road. New England is undefeated on the road. They have not tasted defeat on the road this season. So what leads me to believe that this Patriots team, the way they've been playing as of late, because you got to remember, what leads me to believe that they can't go to Denver and get a win? The Jacksonville Jaguars went to Denver and got a win. And I honestly think the Patriots are better than the Jaguars. So what leads me to think that that New England can't go up to Denver and pick up a win, and then New England get to the Super Bowl? There you have it. I called this a few weeks ago. I called this. So, like, I know my shit. Like, I know, okay? I know my sports. I'm a sports fanatic. I call myself the Hood's ESPN for a reason, right? So, there you have it. So, and another reason why I'm glad the Patriots won is, I don't know what listen, I used to like Sean Payton. I'm not gonna lie. When he was with the Saints, he was one of my favorite coaches in the league. Right? I think at that time, probably my my favorite coaches, probably four favorite coaches in the league, was obviously Belichick, Andy Reid, Mike Tomlin, and then you could throw Sean Payton in there, right? And if you want to throw Pete Carroll in there to make it the top five, so be it, right? So those were my five coaches: Belichick, Andy Reid, Mike Tomlin, Pete Carroll, and Sean Payton. I lost respect for him when Russell Wilson was in his last year in Seattle, and how disrespectful he was to Russell Wilson. Now, I get it. You come to Denver as the new head coach. He's not your guy, okay? He was with another coach before you got there. And then as soon as you get here, you disrespectful towards Russ. Now, did Russ deserve some of that criticism? Yeah, because the way he ingratiated himself with Denver when he first got there. But the way you would belittle him in the media, the way you belittled him on the sidelines, come on. And then earlier this season, I don't even remember the quote, but I definitely know you was throwing shade at Russell Wilson. Because, you on your little hot run right now, so you just had an opportunity to be in front of a camera and throw pot shots at Russell Wilson. And Russell Wilson did what Russell Wilson always does: take the high road. He took the high road. So, see, me, if I was Russell Wilson, I'll be petty as hell right now. And go on social media and talk crazy about him. Talk about that bonehead decision that he made when he didn't take the 3 points and then try to go for it on fourth down. But see, I'm not Russell Wilson, because had that been me, I'd have been hella petty. But again, salute to the Patriots and salute to the Broncos too, right? I think they'll be back next year to a degree, because it was announced that Bo Nix is out for about 12 weeks. So obviously he's going to miss half of next season. Now, does Denver go for another quarterback? Because I doubt listen, I doubt they're going into that next new season next year with Jarrett Stidham. I truly doubt it. Truly doubt it. But yeah, salute to the Patriots. I'm happy for Stephon Diggs. You know, this was somebody who was with Buffalo, had a lot of growing pains there. Obviously, I thought him and Josh Allen as a quarterback receiver tandem was going to be promising. Obviously, that didn't work. He goes to Houston. Things didn't pan out there. I think he sustained an ACL injury there at a time he was there. He now comes to New England where, again, people thought this might have been the graveyard for him. Because, again, nobody thought New England was going to turn into what they turned into. Like, they had 2 straight seasons of 4-13 records. One of those years, Belichick was there. Last year, they had Jared Mayo. And now this year, a whole 360 with Mike Vrabel. And he has the opportunity to be the first person in history to not only win a Super Bowl as a player with said franchise, but also be a coach of that franchise as well. So salute to Mike Vrabel for that. For real. So yes, 2 weeks. New England Patriots, Seattle Seahawks, Santa Clara, Super Bowl 60. So that is your matchup right there. So we're going to give a round of applause to the Patriots and Seahawks for reaching this big game. I had to do 2 claps because 2 teams. Okay, let's get into some women's college basketball. I'm not going to stay on this for long, but I do want to salute South Carolina, the Lady Gamecocks, because it was a lot of chirping going around after they lost on Thursday to Oklahoma. There was a lot of chirping going on. A lot of people. Excuse me. That was their second loss of this season. And you had a lot of people out there doubting South Carolina because their next matchup was going up against Vanderbilt. And they were, at the time, the other undefeated team in women's college basketball. Well, now there's only one, and that will be my girls, the UConn Lady Huskies. South Carolina put the beats on Vanderbilt. Okay. 103-74. And for me, I think they basically took the game from the end of the first quarter basically to the end. Right? Their defense was stellar. And they was just killing it on the boards. They was killing it in the paint. South Carolina took that loss to Oklahoma personally. I'm almost certain that Dawn Staley put those girls to work after that loss. And they answered the bell. They definitely did. Now, me personally, this is just me. This is not nobody else's opinion. This is my opinion. I think their best player is Tessa Johnson. That's just my opinion. Now, I know there's going to be some people out there that say, Joyce Edwards, I love me some Raven Johnson. Unfortunately, she was in foul trouble this game, so we couldn't really get to see her as much. But she's another one of my favorites on that team. Linston did her thing this game. But Tessa Johnson, when she gets it going, she gets it going. And what killed me with that Oklahoma loss, especially in that fourth quarter and when they went into overtime, it's like she wasn't getting the ball as much. And she was one of the players on the squad that had the hot hand. Why is she not getting the ball? Y'all got to find a way to get her the ball. So for me, I felt that was the reason why they lost the game, because they were not even paying Tessa Johnson any mind. And then again, Aaliyah Chavez. I ain't gonna take away from her because she went to work on South Carolina, especially in overtime. And to come to find out that Kobe was her favorite player, yeah, she definitely had her in her Black Mamba moment that game. But back to this game. Obviously, we know who's on Vanderbilt. Michaela Blake's one of the top players in women's college basketball, depending on who you ask. She got her 20-something points, but she took 24-something shots to get it. So obviously, you have her struggle, then the rest of the team is just going to fold. And that's exactly what happened. Because what's going to happen with this loss is, and how they lost, that praise that Vanderbilt was getting before, a lot of that is going to simmer down now. Because again, like I said, they was the second team that was undefeated. UConn was UConn and them. Now that you've lost and you were the 5th ranked team in the country, and then how you lose, granted, it was the South Carolina. You lose to South Carolina, like it's nothing to lose. It's nothing you can say about losing to South Carolina. Like, they're the second. Well, they lost Thursday. They won today. So when the new rankings come out, which will probably be tomorrow, it wouldn't surprise me if they're still at 2 or probably 4-3, being that they lost on Thursday. So I think they're either 2 or 3 when the new poll comes out. But Vanderbilt taking this loss, yeah, they're gonna take a couple of seats back. They were the 5th. They were the 5th ranked team. I can definitely see them going to about 8 or 9. I can definitely see them going to about 8 or 9. Because now the question is going to be: is this a fluke season? Because let's be real, the SEC, like, it's a lot of juggernauts. It's a lot of juggernauts in that conference. You got South Carolina. Again, you got Vanderbilt. You got LSU, who South Carolina plays on Valentine's Day. So we might be getting ourselves a Valentine's Day massacre, if you ask me. So you got South Carolina, you got Vanderbilt, you got Kentucky, you got LSU, you got Texas. That SEC is going to be very interesting when the conference tournaments come into play. But yeah, salute to South Carolina for bouncing back. Again, like I said, I wanted to do a solo video speaking about that, but I got sidetracked with the football games that I totally forgot. That I said, you know what? I'm gonna do a video and put both of these segments into one, because I didn't want to not speak on this. You know, for y'all, y'all been riding with me long enough to know how I feel about women's basketball, whether it's WNBA, whether it's women's college basketball, or even Unrivaled. Speaking of Unrivaled, I'm not going to dive on it too much, but I just want to say shout out to Dominique Malonga, because I said she was going to get a dunk before this Unrivaled season is over. And she got her dunk last night in the game against the Lunar Owls. And it wasn't one of those dunks where it was like, oh, she barely touched the rim. No. She stuffed it. It was, the dunk was equivalent to Candace Parker and Lisa Leslie dunking in the WNBA. Just look it up. Type her name in, and probably when you type her name in, that'll probably be the first thing that comes up, because everybody's talking about it. So salute to her, shout out to her. In fact, how about this? Let them off for her. Hopefully y'all hear. Hopefully my sound card is working so y'all hear this stuff, man. But anyway, it's a wrap for this. Don't want to be on this too long. I was kind of hoping that we would have a snow day tomorrow at work, but unfortunately, I didn't get no update, which I thought I was gonna get. My boss was, got us in a group chat on Friday and said that we'll know by Sunday if we're closed or not. Didn't get a message, so I'm taking it that my job will be open tomorrow. So instead of me having a 4-day weekend, because I was off Friday as well, it would only be a 3-day weekend. But I'm about to bounce. I want to have me some a devil marshmallow slice cake with a glass of milk. So I gotta bounce. But thank y'all for y'all continued support. Keep it going, keep it growing, keep it flowing. Again, if you haven't already, subscribe to the YouTube channel. Sports with Dre Podcast is the name. Also hit that notification bell so that way once a video is uploaded, you will get a notification letting you know that I dropped the video. Like the video, share the video, leave a comment if you want. So y'all hit me in the comments as well. And tell a friend to tell a friend. All that good stuff. I'm almost at 900 subscribers. I'm probably about 15 away, if I'm not mistaken. I gained a couple of subscribers after my last video about Naomi Osaka. So hopefully this video, people will tune in. And if they weren't subscribing, they'll hit that subscribe button. But again, thank y'all for y'all support. Keep it going, keep it growing, keep it flowing. In closing, y'all know how this goes. This has been another video of Sports with Dre Day Podcast. Also, I'm sure half the country right now is dealing with a snowstorm, because I know for a fact we are. But everybody out there that's tuning in, if you're dealing with a snowstorm, y'all be safe out there. And in general, be safe out there. So catch you on the flip side. God bless. Peace and love. Your boy is out of here.